wars in Iraq,
But
terrorism, it doesn't mention anything.
But that's all being wrote about anyway. If you're saying there's a museum that's keeping everything, there's loads of other books for that. Who's looking at the fella whose skulls fell off?
What?
We see. It's interesting, isn't it?
What do you mean the fellow whose skulls fell off?
Well, that's what happened the other week, so I wrote about it.
What?
A fella's skull has fell off.
What do you mean his skull has fell off?
It's something to do with circulation.
But what do you mean his skull fell off?
It's in the diary.
But how can a skull fall off? Because it's surrounded by tissue and it's got a brain. How can just his skull? How can it detach itself from all the stuff surrounding it?
He mislaid all his dreams.
But all I'm saying is that's not getting a look in.
No, because it's not significant or probably true.
Good point, Steve.
I don't.
All right. Well, let me just. I'll just consult the diary quickly and find the moment with the man whose skull fell off. Oh, here we are, yeah. Looks like the world's fattest man is having an operation to get rid of some of the fat.
Yeah.
He has to have an iron bed because that's the only thing that can hold his weight.
Yeah.
There's also a man whose skull has fell out. He's in hospital somewhere. I hate that. It would make me panic. The hospital is busy with people coming in to look at the head.
What are you talking about there? That tells us nothing. Right, it's impossible for a skull to fall out.
How are scholars in 10,000 years going to be... What are they going to decipher from that?
They can sort of.
There's not enough incident detail.
But how did his skull fall out?
Circulation problems.
But answer the question. How did his skull fall out? Fall out of what?
He was at home, and I don't know if he was combing his hair or something, but it come off.
What did?
His skull.
What do you mean, his skull? Do you know what the skull is?
It's a part of the head.
Well, no, it's the structure of the head. It's the bone. Do you mean the top of the skull?
This is only useful if you have all the salient facts. Then it would be of interest to us. We could.
Well, I couldn't take that on. I'm busy. I'm not going to start looking into stuff in depth. Just get the details.
God, you're such an idiot. You are the best, idiot in the world. Yeah. Now it's time for White Van Man.
White Van Man. Yes, for those that don't buy the Sun, they think it's beneath them. White Van Man is a column they have, I think, every day actually, and they just get sort of some, Joe Public to kind of comment on the week's news. Just seemed to me, that it might be interesting to get Karl's views on some of the big events.
Not because we think that Karl hasn't got a valid sort of viewpoint. No. Because Karl sees the world differently to some people. That's all, and that's what's interesting. Like an artist does, or
exactly. Yeah, he's very bohemian in his outlook. Yeah. Do you feel that you're up to scratch on this week's news?
I don't like this, but
don't you?
Don't just relax.
Why not?
It's pressure.
No, because you just have to give us your first opinions.
For your honest answer, that's all we've ever asked of you, Karl, and it's all you've ever given us. Your honest, your first from the heart view, yeah? Don't worry, just relax.
Just chill out.
Are you worried that people are listening and thinking you're an idiot?
If my girlfriend's listening now, go and have a wash or something.
Go and have a wash.
Not very nice, is it? Is it the opposite of Napoleon and Josephine? Yeah, go on. If you're going to visit me again, Josephine, for Christ's sake, wash.
Well, I'll ease you in with something fairly easy, a music-based question. Kylie Minogue versus Dido as Queen of the Brits. What's your view there?
Go and have a wash.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
It doesn't really matter.
What doesn't really matter?
With the Brits. I was watching it the other night, and I think Kylie will be a good-looking old woman.
Okay.
Do you
ever do sort of
I want to, Steve, I want to celebrate with you. Every time he opens his mouth, it doesn't matter. I want us to open a bottle of champagne.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like we did that.
Yes.
No, do you ever do that though? Look at people, and another person who springs to mind, Jenny Powell. I don't think she's that good-looking now.
Who's Jenny Powell? Is she that girl that used to be the assistant on Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah, I think she's a bit over the top for a young woman. But when she gets older, I think she'll
be a bit of a stunner. Okay. So for you, Kylie, whereas you don't feel that about Dido, is that right?
She's alright, she's normal. I prefer Kylie's sister to Kylie. She looks, I can imagine her being hard work to live with, and
who, Kylie?
Not being washing up and that.
Right, sure.
Being a bit fussy.
Okay. And what do you make of taxes rising in the next budget to pay for NHS improvements?
Well, my dad went to hospital to have an operation once.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's worth paying it because I've got something.
Because people might have to go to hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes a change when it's someone in your family, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you sort of realise.
Yeah, a change is as good as a rest.
And the weird thing is, if it weren't for my dad, I wouldn't be here doing this show, because when he was in hospital...
Well, no, I'll stop you there.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's all you need to know.
You wouldn't be here, true, but no. But
well, no, because this was after I was born. So, I would be here.
But his more direct involvement was what?
Yeah, because when my mum was seeing my dad in the hospital, I got a bit bored, went for a wander, found the hospital radio station, and got a gig.
Really?
So, in a real sense, if it wasn't for Carl's dad, Carl wouldn't be here.
And did your dad, like, while he was listening to you, did he, like, sort of tap the nurse and go, "Can you get that twat off the air?"
Who's put him in that?
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay, what do you make of the real-life Mowgli who's surviving in a Transylvanian countryside? Apparently, I don't know much about this story.
I don't know.
You know Mowgli, he's the guy from the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
The little kid that grew up with bears and animals and stuff. Apparently there's a real-life one in Transylvania.
What were the things in Gremlins?
What were the what? Like, in Gremlins they were...
Wait. Okay, this is an example. This is what your girlfriend said. Think, what were the things in Gremlins called?
I can't remember.
Just, I mean, really...
Something like that, isn't it?
No, wait. Just really think now, Carl. Just with everything you've ever... With all the brain power you've ever used, think what the things in Gremlins were called.
It's not there.
There's a clue here.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
They're not.
What?
Gremlins.
Yeah.
Play a record, Carl.
The streets, let's push things forward on XFM 104.9, the home of charity.
That's true enough.
Yeah. I've got to slow down because I'm doing a little bit too much for charity. I've got to worry about myself sooner or later. Do you know what I mean? No, come on. We were halfway through White Van Man.
We were indeed, yes.
Those lads came in.
Getting Carl's views on some of the big stories of the week from the news. Carl, what do you make of the fact that the British Olympic curling team won a gold medal?
I watched it.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was really good. The only thing that's getting on my nerves now is, like... What was that?
Is that a trombone player just sneaked in?
That was me moving this microphone.
Right.
That was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What an amazing noise.
The only thing is...
That shouldn't sound like that, should it? That's incredible. What a shoddy tin pot station this is.
Well, we know that.
Sorry, Carl.
Go on.
It's like in all the papers now, in like the, you know, the Star and the Sun all week, they've been like traipsing models over a bit of granite. Do you know, like how those things are made out of granite? The things they throw.
Oh yeah.
And it just that bit annoys me.
Okay.
The Daily Star?
No, the way that, you know, this sport, nobody had ever sort of heard of it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Sure.
We win a gold medal.
Yeah.
And now in the papers it's like...
They've gone crazy. They've gone curling mad.
Yeah.
It's a good game now.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Next.
All right. Good. Let me see. What about the fact that the world's tallest man is living in a semi in Neasden?
It's alright, isn't it? Something that someone told me in the week is that, do you know all these tall people like this guy?
Yeah.
Which is a bit weird they've only just found him, considering he's the tallest man. I think that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Someone told me that, do you know the guy who was in James Bond, the big bloke?
Yes.
Jaws? He's got the same illness as this bloke.
Right.
And what it is...
It's called tall.
It's something about...
You're suffering from tall.
You've got a small tumour or something just behind this part of your head.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Just sort of in the middle of your eyes.
Yeah.
And the pressure on that makes you grow really tall or something.
Yeah.
So he needs to get it sorted.
That's your advice to him.
Yeah.
Get it sorted. Okay, very finally, Carl, this is important. This is just projecting into the future.
Get it sorted.
Just projecting into the future now, K-Man. Apparently, global warming will bring sizzling summers and weird wildlife to Great Britain in the future. Are you worried about that?
How soon?
Soon enough for you to worry.
Yeah, it's pretty worrying.
Okay.
You
wouldn't prefer it to be sunny here all the time?
No, because with hot weather comes weird spiders and that. See, I always think we're quite lucky here.
Yeah.
If you live in Australia, you might have the sun and stuff, but you've got like deadly snakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which are deaf. Did you know snakes are deaf?
Snakes are deaf.
They don't have ears.
Okay.
So you're alright walking about behind them.
Yep. But if they see you ahead of you, you're in trouble.
But yeah, with places like Australia, you know, people go, oh, it's great, it's sunny, but they don't talk about the spiders and
they keep the spiders,
lizards and stuff. So I think we've got a bit of both the best worlds.
So you're worried though about in the future, vultures flying through the sky? We've got various creepy crawly snakes. You concerned about that?
Yeah, well, there's a load. I saw something in the news in the week that a load of sparrows or something was somewhere. Maybe that's the start of it.
That's an interesting story.
Was that front page or? There's a load of sparrows somewhere.
No, about
Read all about it. Sparrows somewhere.
Some sparrows somewhere.
Sparrows somewhere.
Load of sparrows somewhere.
Sparrows somewhere.
there you go. Anyway,
Excellent. That's
Thank you
great.
very much, Carl.
That's Carl giving his views on the news.
don't do that next week.
Why not?
I just don't like it.
Why?
Pressure.
It's not pressure. You did brilliantly.
Carl, you've had a good night out this week. You went to the Sony's. You had a free meal.
Yeah, that annoyed me. I don't.
Yeah, we came away empty-handed, but
Yeah.
it was a good night, wasn't it? You enjoyed that?
Did you enjoy that? I ate it, but go on.
I'm just finding more and more things are annoying me.
Really?
Like even like at that Sony's night, right? You've got a lot of respectable people going to that thing. You know, people who are high up at the BBC and that.
Yeah.
And just the way, you know, it's a posh night. There's people there with dinner jackets on and stuff.
Mm.
And then I went to the toilet for a wee. Old fella in there. I thought he looks like he's been in the radio game for years. Probably done loads of award-winning Sony stuff.
Yeah.
You know, all the BBC documentaries they do, in-depth stuff. And I thought, you know, I wonder if I'll be like him when I'm older. I wonder if I'm as good as him. Thinking all that, he's having a wee in the next urinal. Farts.
I know. Yeah.
He just farts. Old fella in a dinner jacket, probably hired. And I thought,
But is that like they try to? They think, well, I better do it in here, and it's sort of like a trumpet, and everyone just goes, yeah, that's fine. What's up with that? You know, yeah, I know what you mean. It's just the arrogance of doing it.
He just did it. It sounded like a lost whale. and he didn't sort of go and try and clinch it. He carried on, and then he went, oh, that was a good one.
Really?
Old fella, must have been about 70.
Oh dear.
And
Well, better out than in.
Yeah.
but it's not though. I wasn't brought up like that. You see,
Right.
because I did it. I mean, I never really did it that much as a kid,
Sure.
and then I was at my mum and dad's.
You never did it that much as a kid. What party?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just like, you know, as a joke and that.
We are taping this for next year's Sony Award, aren't we? We're taping this, what we're talking about now, aren't we? To hand in. Because this is, go on.
But I was at my mum and dad's, right? And Suzanne was sat on the floor in front of me, and she was like, oh, rub me neck, it's hurting. So I thought, oh, and I hate doing that, it really it bores me.
Well,
like.
she's your girlfriend, for goodness
I
sake.
know, Dale Winton's different, you're getting paid for that, go on.
So I thought, the only way to shift her, I'll let one go, right? So I did that.
I love that!
It's such a loving relationship.
I love that, that's great!
So
like
she's-
doing the washing up badly.
Yeah.
She won't ask me again, what have you done? I've smashed the cups up and I've written in excrement across the wall. Well, that's no good, isn't it? Well, I won't do it again
Give me
then.
the marigolds, I'll do it.
I've nailed the cat to the fridge, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Go on.
But yeah, so I did that, and it worked. She sort of got up and said, oh... And my dad said, what do you do that for?
What was he thinking?
So I said, oh, I hate rubbing her neck. Does me head in. So he says, you know, I've never trumped in front of your mother for 40 years.
Sorry, where was this? Chigley? Why is this family talking like this? Young Carl, I've never trumped in front of your mother in the 35 years. Why? What? I don't know what.
No, it's just that he said, you know, we've done a lot of things in the family that I'm
Hold
not
on,
proud of.
what did he say that for? What? He's never trumped in front of your mother.
He just offered that information up.
Well, he just was surprised that I did it. He said, where have you got that from?
Yeah.
Whoa, the lower intestines, I'd thought. What do you have to imagine there's a class of farting. Oh,
No.
we haven't told our kids about farting. He doesn't do it. We haven't told him about it. We haven't. No, we don't do it in front of it. You have to learn it, do you?
No, but there's a place. That's what I was always told.
Go on.
There's a place for that.
Cornwall.
So, and my mum, you know, it's the same. She doesn't do it.
Right.
If she goes to the toilet to, you know, do what you got to do, she makes sure, like, she'll sort of say things like, "Are you going out for a walk?"
Are you going out for a walk?
Does she think? Does she know that you're broadcasting this?
Well, yeah.
She's probably around at the neighbours now, listening.
Yeah.
Any of you going out for a walk?
Yeah, just tell her to
So she waits until everyone's left, or?
She doesn't like the thought that everyone... Do you know, like, cats don't like you staring at them when they're doing it?
I've never stared at a cat while it was doing anything.
Have you ever had a pet cat?
What do you mean? Yeah, go on.
No, it's just that cats, you know, if you get them a little litter tray,
Yeah.
I remember being told, like, no, when it does use it, don't sort of go and look at it. It puts it off. I was the same as a kid. When I had a nappy...
Who comes and looks at you when you're on the bog?
No, when I was a kid and I was in a nappy, right, I used to always, like, there was a corner in the kitchen that I'd always go to, and everyone would be
When
like...
you go to the
That's from the R.E.M. album that people tend to forget about now because it was so kind of poppy and such a massive hit out of time, but there are some good tunes on it. And there's one of them, Near Wild Heaven.
Excellent, on XFM 104.9. Carl.
Go on.
Watching a programme yesterday, and it was about these Japanese snow monkeys. And it was all about how animals learn things that aren't instinctive, particularly sort of primates, because they see other people doing it, and they start a culture. And they can pinpoint when one monkey first went down and got in the hot water springs and stayed there because it was hot, and the others copied them, and now it's part of almost a culture, you know, that won't be handed on because it's not instinctive, but has to be learnt each time. And you know, and they groom as normal like other monkeys, right? But they're really intelligent, and obviously the reason they groom other monkeys is because they eat the mites. But also, the monkeys have learned they like being groomed, okay? So they showed this one monkey, it went to a deer, okay, and it was grooming this deer to get its mite off it, right? But then it didn't eat it, it held it in its hand, it went over to a monkey, put the mite on itself to show the monkey it had a mite, and got a free grooming.
That's extraordinary.
That's extraordinary.
That is
because it gave up the food, knowing that if you put one there, this monkey would look for mites on it, and it would get a free grooming, and it was like having a little massage. What do you think of that?
It's not bad, I've got some better stuff coming up later.
On Monkey News, on the official Monkey News.
See what mine though, mine's true.
I mean, that's an interesting and extraordinary...
It actually happened, it's social behaviour amongst primates. I saw it, it was... You know.
Did it rob a bank, Rick, at any time?
It didn't rob a bank, and it didn't open a hairdresser's.
So that's what you're letting you... That's what you're letting yourself down.
It's not quite good enough, is it, my Monkey News?
No, I got some...
See the difference where I named the species, explained it slightly, told you an interesting fact, as opposed to, there's this monkey, right? And,
look at him looking at you.
Yeah,
he's not interested, Rick. Can I tell you now? Can I try and describe for people the face that Karl has? I'll tell you what it's like. It's like if you draw some eyes, a nose and a mouth on a balloon and then inflate it to about half full. That's what Karl's face looks like. That's what his head looks like. It looks like a face you've drawn on a balloon. Very small, the rest of the head huge.
It's just that today I'm a bit tired, right? That's one thing.
Why are you a bit tired?
I just haven't been sleeping, right?
Why not?
I don't know, I've got a lot going on in the head.
Oh, if this would be like The Simpsons, if we could actually look in there, there would be two monkeys grooming now.
Plus, you've been talking about, like, stuff that I can't relate to and that, so I'm...
What, writing poetry?
Like what?
Reading books?
Yeah, doing poetry and stuff. I never did any of
that. What did you do?
Well, at school they didn't bother. They tried to get us to write more, right?
Right.
By,
giving you a pen?
Well, they used to give us these school diaries.
Yeah.
Little red book. And it was a way that they kept an eye on what you were doing out of school hours. Right. So some kids would write down, you know...
Stole a bike.
Yeah. Burnt a house down.
Yeah.
But when I was at school, around that sort of 12 age, I didn't get up to much. You have no money, there's nothing you can do. So every night it was the same thing. I'd get home, and I'd have to go to the shop, right, and get some potatoes and some bread every night, right. And I kept taking this into school.
Sorry, what was it? Dublin in the 17th century? Yeah. What do you mean every day you went to the shops and got potatoes and bread?
That's kind of what I had to get all the time.
Why? What did you have? Chip sandwiches?
Yeah.
Right,
And,
so you went to the you went there.
So I kept
With your hoop
putting
and
that.
Yeah.
I kept putting that in the diary, every night saying, went to U-Phase. That was the name of the shop. Yeah.
What is it called?
U-Phase.
What is it, you or you?
Like H-U-G-H. phase.
H-U-G-H, yeah. Oh, that was his name?
U-Phase, right. Used to go there, get the potatoes and bread and that.
I love the fact someone who's named a shop after themselves. I'm not going to say what we sell, it's named after me or nothing, or I'm not opening.
Mainly potatoes and bread. White sliced loaves, King Edward's.
And the teacher used to always say, just write something different in there, make something up. Because Monday, Tuesday, all the way through to Friday, every night, it was just, went to U-Phase.
Went to U-Phase?
So you sort of, you think...
Are you sure it wasn't an advert? Sure he wasn't paying you to say, get my name in the book?
Yeah.
The only time that it changed, and she said, oh, that's made it a bit more interesting, was when it was my birthday, and I had to buy a cake.
Potatoes and a cake.
And she said, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That was my 13th birthday. My mum said, I got home from school, she said, oh, you're 13 today. Teenager, big turnover. Go and get a cake.
That's your experience of writing?
No, what?
Well,
no, that's your experience of your 13th birthday. Oh, by the way, you're 13 today, go and get a cake.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Big surprise? Was it a big surprise? yeah, that is brilliant. I love it.
That's the only sort of writing.
What, and they never asked you to write essays or stories?
Did you never write a story or a poem or a...
The stories I did earlier on were, you made them up, but it was that thing that I'd always end them with, and an alarm went off and it was all a dream.
Every single one of them?
Yeah. But they didn't, I mean, it was a bit of a...
I bought some potatoes and some bread, then I went home and it was all a dream.
Then I went to shops and bought some potatoes and bread. But did you ever do anything that write about an adventure when you were a spaceman, or you were you were a cowboy, or... No?
All the teachers, had scams going on, so, in English, right, you'd go in there, and the teacher would say, right, what we're doing today is, got a load of brochures from Thomson, but they say, 1983 on the front, so I've got a load of stickers here that say 1984, let's see how many you can do in half an hour.
You are joking.
Did you go to school with Oliver Twist?
Sorry, you are joking.
I'm not, that's what they did. So the teacher must have been getting, a freebie or something for helping them out. Honestly, yeah, that's what it was.
That is fantastic.
They were all at it.
Other than Mr. Fagan, you had...
Yeah. And then when they saw Karate Kid, they had every kid washing their car going, wax on, wax off, hurry up. Yeah. I'm teaching you something. Wax on, wax off, paint the fence.
So I'm just saying, that's why I'm a bit quiet, because you're talking about stuff I can't
relate to.
And why didn't you sleep last night?
I haven't slept well since I was about 12. Do you sleep well, Steve?
Oh, wait, you can't let go! I haven't slept well since I was 12. What do you mean?
Do you know, a proper... I used to love going to bed as a kid.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's am I going to sleep tonight? And I sort of wake up about 4 times. Right. Whereas when you're a kid, I remember really loving, going to bed. There was one time where I actually laughed myself to sleep because I couldn't believe me luck.
What's so wrong with him? What do you mean you laughed yourself?
Have you had it when you're really tired and you get in bed and the pillows feel
it's all cold. Yeah.
And it's I can't believe this.
Yeah.
And it happened twice. Once when I just went to bed and I was really looking forward to it, and also when I helped my dad out once, through the night. He worked at at this paper company, right? And I helped him out, and I got in at about 4 in the morning with him. Got in bed, and I just was I was laughing my head off. I had to put the pillow over my head because I couldn't believe me luck. I was oh, this is great. This. I'm going to sleep.
I just have to say, life up north is so extraordinary.
No, but you must be the easiest kid in the world to please. No wonder she knew she could just go get a cake. It's sort of what was he expecting for us to say? He were expecting an extra hour in bed, but we got him cake as well.
I love without any supper. Brilliant.
Brilliant, yeah. Your own bed. How long was it before you got your own... What did you used to do before? Just some straw in the corner?
No, it's just that thing of when you're really tired and...
And do you ever do this with Suzanne, though? Do you ever laugh yourself to sleep with her?
No, that's what I mean.
She can't sleep because you're chuckling away.
I don't know what's up with me. I've got a lot going on.
What do you mean you've got a lot going on?
I don't know. I was talking to the security bloke before saying, do you sleep? Have you got much going on in your head and stuff? And I don't know.
He wasn't insulted by that, I'm sure. Going up to someone and going, have you got a lot going on in your head? That is brilliant.
It worries me. It's interesting that your lack of sleep coincides with the diaries and the writing of the bread and potato story every day. I don't know if once you had that responsibility.
Why don't you every night go to Hugh Faye's, get some bread and potatoes, you don't have to eat them, then go to bed, and I think you'll be chuckling yourself to sleep in no time.
I thought it was a bit slow.
I know, but I'm a fan of it.
I like slow songs, but
I really like. I've always been a fan of it, even from early days. I thought his first song was really great and much maligned. People didn't like it because they were expecting the
Verve.
Yeah, urban hymns and all that.
Yeah,
but, that's great. On XFM 104.9.
Who are you?
Ricky Gervais. Who are you?
Steve Merchant.
Who's that little round-headed fella over there?
Karl Pilkington.
Carl, we haven't had a lot of Carl today. He's a bit tired, aren't you?
Just a little bit.
What happened? You came back from Edinburgh today as well, didn't you, on the plane?
This morning.
Yeah.
Got an early flight.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying me because there was like people on the plane fighting over where they wanted to sit.
Surely they've got designated seats.
Well, they have, but that wasn't good enough for them. They wanted to sit next to the friends and that. And it's like, well, you can't because you didn't check in together. So that's the way it is.
Yeah, done.
But the thing is, it's from Edinburgh, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand this sort of.
You can stand for that long, can't you?
Well, why do you have to sit next to the person anyway, to be honest? I mean, fair enough, if you're going on a long flight, someone to talk to, but for 40 minutes, it really doesn't matter.
I never want anyone to talk to. I don't want anyone sitting next to me to talk to me.
Why? What are they there for?
What? I don't mean people I go with. I mean if I'm travelling alone and I sit next to someone, I don't want them to talk to me.
Yeah, but I don't really know.
If I was travelling with you, I'd really not want you to talk to me.
Not if you're going to talk like this.
Yeah, this.
Oh, you sound like you're suicidal, mate. It was just a couple of people arguing. It's over, man.
Yeah.
The plane journey's finished. Why is it still stewing you up?
He paid 160 quid and he's not whinging. He doesn't care.
165 quid. Let's get it right. If we're going to bring it up, if we're going to mention it.
And it's like Waterford looks back to him. He said to me, Rick, it's only money, and money is just something you have in case you don't die tomorrow. He's got a great attitude towards money, Steve. It's like easy come, easy go. So just take a leaf out of Steve the I'm not spending that much merchant, and you'll have a happier life.
Sorry, I just need to defend myself for a minute. There are certain instances in life where, you see, you're giving me an attitude like that I'm tight. It's not tight.
No,
shut up. Let me defend myself. It's not that I'm tight with money. It's that I want to get value for money at all times.
Yeah.
Because, you probably got a lot of cash given to you, maybe it's pocket money when you were a kid. Every penny I've ever had is been money I've earned.
Yeah.
So frankly, I'm going to spend it wisely. Like, for instance, you might say you're in a party, or so you're at a party, maybe out in a bar with someone's birthday, you get talking to a girl, right? Maybe you buy her some drinks, right? You're chatting to her, and then you're chatting away for 2 hours, and then at the end of the evening she says, I've got to go meet my boyfriend now. Right, she's wasted my money and my time there. Yeah. That's 2 hours wasted and money wasted, right? Now, she should have told me straight away that she had a boyfriend, and I wouldn't have bothered with her. I'd have moved on, I'd have looked on to her.
What if she thought she was just having a chat with another human being?
Though, Rick, where I'm being deliberately deceived so people can extract money from me or interesting conversation. Yeah. She knew what I was after, it was obvious, the drooling mouth, the beady eyes. And yet she was leading me on.
And she was a prostitute. And think how he felt about that. I mean, what a slap in the face.
Let's not try and cheapen it with that kind of cheap sexual innuendo, right? She occasionally slept with me for money.
It wasn't for money, it was for meals.
Yeah. No, but the point was, do you know what I mean? It's just that sort of attitude generally in my life. It's like, don't waste my time, don't waste my time or my money. You're like, life is, the clock is ticking as far as I'm concerned. And, and so just, if you've got a boyfriend and I come up and I'm chatting you up, just let me know and I'll move on. I won't bother you. Yes, please. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I feel they should definitely introduce some kind of badge system.
You see, the problem is that women without boyfriends will be wearing those badges now, and you won't be able to. You know what I mean? You won't be able to say, have you really got a boyfriend?
No, I just think there should be some kind of there should be an etiquette, there should be an understanding.
Yeah.
Because they know they can see what I'm after. It's obvious.
Is it obvious, is it?
I make it very clear.
You're not a subtle man.
No, I just come over and pant.
Do you still try and attract their attention by throwing small rocks at them?
Yeah.
As they walk down has that ever worked?
Occasionally.
Is it really?
The desperate ones or homeless ones.
Oh, the homeless ones. He once, he said to me, he came in to work, and he said, I gave a homeless girl £1, right, because I fancied her. He said, is that wrong? Is that really bad
I don't think it is, you see. I don't think it is, because it seems to me if she was an attractive homely school, she deserves some of my money.
I just imagine him slowing down. I imagine him, like, going past loads of tramps going, get out of it, get a job. And she goes, hello.
But I have to say, I did for a moment just pause and think to myself whether I could kind of scoop her up in my arms, take her back to my place, and kind of turn her life around like My Fair Lady.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of teach her to speak properly, and dress her up in smart clothes, and take her out into sort of society.
Yeah. I think that's where your first mistake was. You said, listen, love, I'm up for it if I can hose you down. That was where you went wrong. We've also got Educating Ricky, where Karl educates me. The one last week, a girl, right, she was deaf, and she was had an argument with her mum, and she pushed her and she hit her head, and then she can hear again.
Yeah.
Don't know what I learned from that.
No.
It might be subliminal, something might be going, it might be a metaphor that I will learn from.
Yeah, it's like a parable.
Yeah, so, look at his face. We might as well be talking Dutch, mightn't we, Karl? Say something quick, it's radio.
I don't understand what you want from me.
Oh, we're only joking.
Right, so, Educating Ricky, I've worked a bit harder this week, we've got some good stuff.
Okay.
I'll give you the
teaser headlines later.
Headlines in a bit.
Yeah. Death in Vegas. Scorpio Rising.
Featuring the voice of, is it Noel Gallagher?
Liam, innit?
Is it Liam?
Sounded a bit like him.
Liam, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, innit?
Excellent, yeah. Right, okay, let's get this show well and truly on the road. We better start, Educating Ricky next, Karl? What have you got for me? I can't wait for learning. I need learning. I need education.
We should just explain, obviously, for those that have just tuned in, Karl, tries to teach Ricky 3 things each week.
Based on the pun title,
and yeah, each of them, just to tantalise Ricky, is, abbreviated into some kind of headline.
A cryptic clue involving a pun.
So what have you got for us this week?
They are really cryptic this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
First story, little headline, is, don't worry about him, he can handle it.
He can handle it?
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like he can handle it, but it's not. Brilliant.
Second one.
Get a lobe of
I'm
get a lobe of this.
It's a classic. So you can forget. Get a lobe of this.
Yeah. Coming soon.
And stocking Aitken and Waterman. Go on.
Second one. Yeah. I'm committed to this treatment.
I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Alright, tantalising.
Yeah. And the last one, the police are causing a bit of a stare.
Oh. The way he looks when he says it. I wish we could can't we get Karl on telly?
Nope. There's got to be a way.
We cannot. With all the cable channels, anyone can get on telly these days. Let's phone up. Let's get you on Choice or something. Just Karl.
What are you going for?
Oh, he can handle it, I think.
Don't worry about him. He can handle it.
He can handle it. Okay, let's hear this one.
Right, are you familiar with the phrase "burning the candle at both ends"?
Yeah.
Do you know how it's come about?
I know a man who does.
I assumed that it was to get more light in the room.
How would that work?
Well, they'd put it sideways and light both wicks, so out of one candle they could get two. No, go on.
No, what it is...
I know what it means. It means you're doing too much, you're staying up too much, you're not getting enough sleep, and you're...
Well, years ago...
Yeah.
When they didn't have light bulbs and that...
Oh yeah, what year is this? Literally ages ago, specifically?
Yeah, quite a bit back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Didn't have light bulbs and that, so they used to have candles in
When did the light bulb come in? Because I can't remember at the moment.
I don't know.
Okay, go on.
So, yeah, so they've got a light bulb.
You wouldn't know, you're a doctor, you're not a historian, go on.
And people who worked a lot of hours, yeah.
How many? Literally lots?
They get up early in the morning because they have to be up early.
Yeah.
And it's dark outside, so they'd light the candle.
Sure.
And they'd wear it out a bit. And then they'd be getting in late as well.
Yeah.
And, like, they'd be like, oh, it's dark, I'll have to light the candle again. And they're burning candle at both ends of the day. So that's where the saying comes from, burning the candle at both ends. So...
Alright.
That's a little lesson.
Yeah.
Lesson one.
Okay. Can I have...
No, you can't have
You can't rush into them, Rick. You've got to...
I've got to soak in that.
You've got to soak that one in. Any questions for Karl off the back of that?
What do you think?
So people were, I mean, basically where this comes from is people were...
They're literally burning the candle at both ends of the day.
Sure.
There you go. So we've still got
Go on.
I'm committed to this treatment. And
I can't wait. This is like Christmas Eve for me. It's like Christmas. I've got to open another present now.
No, I'm afraid we've got to save it. Raw.
Nirvana.
Amazing.
We were just talking. We were getting excited about that.
Yeah, he's got an incredible voice. He has.
And Grohl drumming is brilliant. You know, you're right. The new one from Nirvana. Well, it's time for Educating Ricky Part 2, isn't it? I'm excited, Carl. I'm going to learn so much from this. What's the choices again? What's
you've got left.
Still keep phoning your answers to email. Sorry, yeah.
The answers to Rockbusters.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Educating Ricky Part 2.
Right. I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Is one.
I've got to go for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the other one is the police are causing a bit of a stir.
He still says it like it's the best thing he's ever come up with, which in a way it is.
It could be. Right, go on then. I'm committed to this treatment.
Right. Do you know the saying...
Is it just sayings now? Are they all sayings this week?
No, they're not. Okay. No, the other one isn't. Frog in your throat?
The saying, there's a frog in your throat?
Yeah.
I assume it's, when you, croak a little bit. You sound like a frog.
No. Right. Might seem a bit weird, this one, right? But years ago...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what is that clue? Committed to this treatment?
It's about frogs Kermitted.
Probably works better with a K and an ER written down.
Well, also, if you'd pronounced it Kermitted,
yeah,
but not committed.
Committed to this treatment! Right, go on then.
That's genius.
So yeah.
Well, what?
You go to the doctors and you go with throat hurting a bit.
Right.
And what they did ages ago.
Ages ago? What year was this approximately?
We are going back quite a bit with this one.
Oh, okay, go on.
And the doctor would say...
He did history. Imagine years ago, go on.
And the doctor would say, right, keep your mouth open, I need to look at your tonsils. And the jaw would ache a bit, because they weren't as quick back then, because they didn't have the technology and stuff, and they'd have to, like, stare at it and study it and stuff. And, like, they get an achy jaw, right?
Keeping their mouth open.
Yeah, like, you get, and you eat a Mars bar or whatever, it's a bit, So, they'd sat there, and they used to always close their mouth, and it used to annoy the doctor, right? Sure. So what they did, they used to get a toad,
right,
and put it in the mouth.
Rubbish.
Okay, keep talking. Keep talking.
And that way they couldn't close their mouth because either they'd squash it,
right,
or apparently you're not allowed to lick a toad's back.
So the doctor would have them for breaking the law?
No, but it's poisonous, right, a toad's back. You should never lick a toad's back.
Sorry.
Or put it in your mouth, really.
Oh, just stop for a second.
Wait. What?
Can I just ask one question?
Go on, yeah,
just ask one question.
I've got a few, but go on.
Sure. My initial thought is, it sounds like a brilliant bit of sort of medical knowledge there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
My only thought is, how does the doctor see past the toad?
Yeah.
At your tonsils?
What's he actually looking at with the mouth open? Surely the toad is in the way.
Isn't it like hopping around in the way?
It didn't say.
Sorry, and my first question is, was this on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Carl, that is bollocks. That is, I mean...
well, alright then. Let's turn this round. Where does the saying, you got a frog in your throat come from?
Probably because you sound a bit croaky. Probably that. Probably because you sound a little bit like a frog when you've got a sore throat.
Carl, did you not question it just for a moment when you read it? Just for a second, didn't you think, that seems an odd approach? Firstly, why a frog, of all the different species?
Because it's poisonous. A toad.
So it's a toad as well?
Yeah, well, that it worked. I'm committed. Worked.
No, my point is it's frog in the throat.
I was going to change it to, have you heard the news Toad Day? But I went with the frog.
Oh God!
Right, so
that's rubbish. So that's rubbish. Next, can I have
let's play a tune. Let's come up with the
last one.
Can I just say? No, just play it.
Yeah.
Yo, Carl.
I have to thank my mate Dave, who sent me an incredible 4-disc compilation. That was one of the tunes on there.
It looks professional. It's amazing.
It's incredible. Yeah. Oh, he's gone to too much effort. Ben Queller. It's a track called "In Other Words" from his album Sha Sha.
Open wide. Oh dear, that's interesting. What are you, doctor? Look, you've actually got a frog in your throat. I didn't get there. I put it in there. That's the most ludicrous story I've ever heard, Carl. Why don't you think when you read these things?
I think there's always going to be a bit of truth in all of these. I mean, that fella called up, didn't he, and said, I'm not sure about the, putting a frog in your throat if you've got, problems with your tonsils or whatever. But he said, years ago, if someone had toothache, they'd get hold of a frog and strap it to the face.
Yeah, sure.
So, maybe, down the line, maybe they did. Maybe they did do it
I think Caligula made his emperor a horse and emperor as well, but I mean, it doesn't... Go on.
Dick Anderson's been back in touch.
Excellent.
I think so. He's obviously...
We've turned him round. Well, he loves it now.
He's been tuning in.
He loves it now.
He says, Ricky, thanks for a really forgettable 2 hours of radio. I think I'll spend the time next week counting my feet. That's from Richard Anderson. So, we've turned him round.
Do you know where the phrase counting my feet comes from? Well, in the olden days, right, and I'm talking ages ago, when you really loved something, you used to, as a sign of respect, like, say, a radio show, you'd count your feet. And that's where that comes from, Carl.
Well, what about the frog thing with a poisonous back?
It's rubbish.
That's true. No, the toads have the secretions in there.
Why?
They didn't put it in people's mouths.
No, so well, I'll tell you why. When a badger or a heron tastes the toad, it's horrible. Ugh. The toad might die, but it's for the good of the species, because then think how many toads looking like that heron could eat in its lifetime. So the fact that one toad sacrificed all those other toads in that heron's manner will be safe.
Why? I mean, we've talked about animals a lot on the show, right?
Yeah.
And when God made a toad,
right? Okay. Well, I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you there straight away.
Don't. Just let him carry on.
Right.
Okay.
Like, there's annoying things out there. Jellyfish is a big problem with me. I don't understand what they do in the sea and stuff.
Right.
Right, but we'll leave them.
God's a problem for me, but go on.
We won't talk about jellyfish.
No.
With the toad, right, if it's to protect itself...
Yeah.
Right, now
say... It's not to protect itself, it's to protect its species.
No, yeah, but that... Surely, right, if the toad had a choice, if God said, right, what I'm going to do for you here, you can have something like a lobster's got claws, big claws to have a fight. Or, I can give you something that if someone's having a go at you, you've got to try and persuade them to lick your back. As a defence.
Yeah.
What use is... Right.
God's...
Well, I'll tell you why.
What is God
The fact that there are still toads around is a testament to that defence working. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? If the toad had died out, you'd have a point. But they're still around. It works. Alright?
And don't start slagging God off. He's got a lot on his plate. Basically, I think he took on too much.
Particularly in 1 week.
Exactly, it was crazy.
Danger High Voltage, Electric 6, XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Carl's getting all flustered because I put an elastic band around his head. And we've had a definition of...
Well, hang on a sec, because there's an update to that, Rick.
Go on.
We did just have, one definition here of a frog in the throat. Apparently this has come from some internet site, so who knows how convincing it is, but it says frog in the throat, meaning suffering from temporary hoarseness, needing to clear the throat. Origin from the Old English frogger, meaning hoarseness. That's from Chris. Now that sounds slightly suspect to me.
Why?
But frogger? I mean, it seems odd that it would derive from that when it so clearly appears to be. You sound like a frog when you have a sore throat.
Yeah, but the word frog could come from Frogger, because it sounds like it's croaking.
Wasn't Frogger a game you could play on the on the Spectrum? But listen, hang on, there's an update to that, because just to
the common frog, of course, Rana temporara, that's the Latin name. Well, your toad is Buffo.
You may be trying to show off, but I think you're about to embarrass yourself as well, because you've been slagging off young Karl.
Yeah.
It says here, another email, it doesn't tell us who it's from. Although it's hard to believe now, at one time, medieval physicians believed that the secretions of a frog could cure a cough if they were coated on the throat of the patient. Yeah. That in itself sounds repulsive, but what makes the idea even worse is the application of the secretions. Instead of painting the treatment on, something which may also have seemed rational, a live frog was placed into the mouth of the sufferer, where it remained until the physician decided that the treatment was complete.
Right.
Apparently Shakespeare's son-in-law, that's a question mark, I don't know what that means. Anyway, it's no wonder that today a froggy or croaky attempt at speech is said to be a frog in your throat. So, you can see that what's happened there is Karl's misread, or been slightly misinformed about a medieval practice. In a sense, you're both winners, just for taking part. What's your final one, Karl?
Right, the final story is, the police are causing a bit of a stir.
I can't wait.
It's about this fella, I think it's in England somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't know when it happened, but
literally ages ago, or
basically, well, it's when they were trying to crack down on like drunken people walking about in the street.
Oh yeah.
And they found this
Saturday that way.
And found this fella, and all the local people were saying, "Oh, look at him wandering around. He's drunk and what have you." That's not right. Get the police in. He got arrested and that, and they got him in the court. And the judge was there, and he says, "So you know, what's all this? What's going on? What are you doing wandering about when you've had a drink? You know the rules. You shouldn't be doing that. You had a glazed expression on your face. Blah, blah, blah. What do you have to say for yourself?" He only had a glass eye.
So did he have 2 glass eyes?
No, he had 1. But that was... They were about to sort of lock him up.
Was he a bit pissed off as well?
Well, he was pretty livid.
But was he also drunk with a glass eye?
No, that's the weird thing. He wasn't even... He hadn't even had a drink.
So they just thought, because he had a weird stare.
Because his eyes were all glazed.
Yeah. Where'd you get this from? Why are you telling me this? No, but why are you telling me this? I mean, thank you, because it's, you know, killed a couple of minutes, but why is this educating me? What are you telling me here?
Because there's a bit of a thing there, a bit of a fable, that don't always judge a book by its cover. Yeah? So, the guy, he hadn't even had a drink. He'd probably just been shopping.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, and everyone's like getting involved. Like, what's he doing?
Hang on, I don't understand. He's walking down the street, happens to have a glass eye. He was doing nothing else to suggest he was drunk. You don't pick people up just because their eye looks like that.
But even if it happened, why are you telling me? With no particular detail. I know this, but we're going to get.
It's not enough information.
I know, yeah.
No, there's a bit of a lesson there, educating Ricky. Just, you know, just watch what you say. Don't always jump to conclusions.
The only education I can take from that is that if I ever do become a policeman, I shouldn't just arrest people because they look a bit drunk. I should just tap their eye with a pen and goes. Oh, okay, on you go.
Well,
on you go, yeah.
Guys, can I just look at that? I'm just going to email Richard Anderson and tell him I agree.
Right, listen, we're running out of time and that.
Where did the phrase frog in the throat come from?
We've got
it here, he's been told.
Well, there's 3.
Can we play a tune and come back with that? Have we got anything lined up?
Yeah, we've got the song with a story in it.
Come on, Carl, let's do something. Quick, play a record.
Song with a story in it.
Well, never mind that, just, they're listening. We discussed this off air, come on. Play a record.
Right, it's Kinks. It's a song with a good story in it. You gotta listen to the words.
Anyway, Rockbusters, Carl. Yeah, should we get the ball rolling? Let me just find the gifts here, the little treats. We've got the album from the Coral, you know what I think about that. We've got Carpet in Sound Feeder. Well, it's just a novelty record, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got, on DVD, more great comedy moments, favourite clips from the best of contemporary BBC comedy. We've got Partridge on the front there, we've got one of the guys from Red Dwarf, and
brilliant.
None of those good stuff on there. Smash Hits, the reunion, more great 80s tunes, Kajagoogoo's on there, plus some stuff...
Too Shy?
It is Too Shy.
Yeah.
Actually, let me see if you can guess which one's from Tiffany.
Well, yeah, I know it, the only one.
I think we're alone now.
Yeah, I think we're alone, yeah.
Mel and Kim?
Respectable?
Mm-hmm. Human League?
That'd be... Oh, wow, what would they have got, Don't You Want Me?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last Take On Me?
Yep,
yeah.
Well done. Madness?
Baggy Trousers.
Of course. Kim Wilde?
Kids in America?
Yeah, so there's just all those treats. If you like a song from an 80s band, it's probably on there.
Yeah, okay.
Plus we've also got on VHS, Graham Norton, some kind of best of compilation from his TV show. So, there are the,
Hold on, is it the one where he talks to sort of female gay icons and looks at the internet? Because that's my favourite one. Right, there you go, let's do Rockbusters.
Right,
email only, of course.
Yeah. Email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you know the answer. Right, first one. Bit of a cryptic clue, if you haven't heard it before.
Well, not cryptic, we've gone. What is Carl thinking?
If you go into France by boat, I'd get your fags on there, because it's a lot cheaper.
Imagine Bob Holness. Sorry, we're out of time. Sorry, your minute's up. You've won nothing. I was reading that question out.
Sorry,
right.
So what's the
let's do it again. I want it to be exactly the same, word perfect. I bet you it will change all over the place. He's lost it.
Go to France, buy yourself a boat and fags are cheaper.
Okay, fingers on the buzzers. You've only got 10 seconds to win the gold run. Okay, first up. Here, I'll tell you what, no, seriously, if you're thinking of going to France, well don't, because go on the ferry, get the fags there, because it's cheaper. Go on.
Right, so that one again. If you want to buy some fags, you're going over to France on the boat, get them on there, because you'll save a few quid. BF.
BF.
Right? BF.
Okay.
Right, the second one. This little foreign cafe is growing its own steak.
This little foreign cafe is growing its own steak.
Yeah. This little foreign cafe is growing its own steak.
Go on.
D.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
And the last one.
Is that part of it?
Hang on.
He's the best, isn't he? He's the best.
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
What?
The Jamaican fella might have screamed this on the Titanic.
Yeah.
What's it start with?
It's CD. That one.
Jamaican fellow might have screamed this on the Titanic. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
So we'll get Rockbusters out of the way. Have we got a winner?
Yeah, come on then. See, it worries me that we've had very few entries. I think that even your mental fans aren't getting these, which is really worrying. They must be terrible clues this week.
Alright, well...
Has anyone got them right, Steve?
I think there's just one guy, yeah, who I suspect has won in the past.
Well, so what?
Right, the first one. If you go out of France by boat, you might as well buy your fags when you're on that, because you'll get them a lot cheaper.
Brilliant.
Right?
Yeah.
BF.
Yeah.
Buy it ferry. Right? That's like...
What?
Buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on
Ferry? What's that? Is that a band?
What?
What is it? I don't know what it is.
Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry? What's that got to do with buying on a ferry, though?
Just because he's quite close to it. Buy on ferry.
What?
Buy on ferry.
Sorry, what's your first language?
The second one.
That's rubbish. That doesn't count.
No,
Brian Ferry.
Brian Ferry, buy on ferry.
There's this little foreign cafe. It's growing its own steak. That's Delamitri. The third one.
What? Sorry, what? What is that? What is that? Delamitri.
Delhi is a little foreign cafe.
Yeah.
A meat tree and that.
A meat tree? A meat tree? What were the initials for that?
Just D for that.
Just D for that?
Yeah.
So not DA?
So you didn't even give them a chance to get the group?
Oh, they got it.
Well, no.
No, they didn't. Right, it's the end. Go on, right. Go on.
Delhi meat tree?
Delhi meat tree. One word. D. Or any letter.
They're growing their own meat.
M's in it. Go on. Okay, so Bayern, I love Bayern Ferry. And Oxford Music was brilliant. I love Oxford Music. Go on.
Can I just point out, Rick, that we've
David Bowie?
Delhi meat tree.
Yeah.
I don't see why necessarily Aidan, who emailed in, why he doesn't get to win, because he emailed in dire steaks. Seems to me just as valid, as far as I can tell, but Delhi meat tree it is.
And the last one, if there was a Jamaican fella on the Titanic...
I'm looking forward to this, with a little bit of fear.
Jamaican fella, if he was on the Titanic, he probably would have screamed this.
Yeah.
That's Christ de Burgh.
Oh! I don't know what to do. Stunning.
So who's the winner?
I'm not going to give it to anyone. I just don't...
Sorry, what's the Jamaican bit got to do with it?
It's the D. Just Christ de Burgh.
Say it again?
No, I think they've worked it out now.
What do I say again?
Christ de Burgh.
And who's that?
What?
Who's that?
Who's what?
Who's Christ de Burgh?
Chris de Burgh. Who's the winner, Steve?
Do you know what? I'm going to give it to Aidan, because he just treated you with nothing but contempt. Steve Martin emailed in again. He got the first two, and then the last one he just emailed, I neither know nor care about this answer. I'm tempted to give him.
Do you know what you've done there, don't you?
Go on.
You've put the nail in the coffin of Rockbusters. I warned you for 3 weeks, and you sort of bucked your ideas up for a little while. But Christ de Burgh...
Those are the worst you've ever done.
The worst are Delamitri, so, and didn't it just put D, and then Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry. Bayern Ferry.
So...
Do you remember, because I've watched the World Cup a few times with Ricky, in different projects we've been doing in the past, we've been in different situations. Do you remember when, I think it the last time we qualified, we were doing a project, and we watched it together in a hotel room.
We're watching extras, right? And
we're making extras.
Yeah. And we watched it. We said, "Oh, we're going to my room." I went to Steve's room, but of course, in the hotel room, it was just like a big bed. So we sat on the bed together, and we thought that was a bit intense. So I put a line of pillows down.
But I don't understand what... he was putting a line of pillows between us. Now, he knows I'm not going to jump on him.
No, I know.
He's not going to jump on me.
No.
But he's still terrified that some kind of paparazzi is going to sort of parascend down the building and peer in and take a photo of us. And that's before we've got time to explain that we're just watching the football. It's already printed going, well, this is clearly evidence of their game. Yeah. There's no way that they could possibly be sat on a bed just as friends.
No, but hold on, though. Why were we naked? Why didn't we just pop some trousers on?
But I seem to remember that you, even though it was my room, you forced me to sit in the chair. It was one of those really uncomfortable box chairs.
I said, it's weird, I can't get excited, we're having a beer, okay? So now we're drinking. Now we're drinking in bed. On the bed. No. We had our clothes on. We're on the bed watching football. But I couldn't go, "Come on, England," with a little man sitting next to me in the bed.
Not little man at all.
No, big man. And so I just thought, let's pop the pillows down. That wasn't enough. I said, "Steve, I can't do this. I can't watch football with a man on a bed." I said, "So go in the chair." And he sat in
I sat in this chair, which is, if a man of my size, those tiny little crappy hotel box chairs are no good. It's 90 bloody minutes plus the intermission. It was my room. I was furious.
I felt like I was, like an old rich man just waiting to die, and my little manservant used to come and sit and watch football with me
exactly,
in the last days of my time. I'm in bed going, "Oh, it's gone again." He goes, "All right, I'll mop it up later. Look, Rooney's taking a penalty." "No, it's gone. It's all out." I go, "Oh dear." So, yeah, let me clean it up. We can put this on pause. It's Sky Plus.
Let's open a window.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the most often I think football fans are very homoerotic. They're hugging each other, jumping on each other, swapping shirts and stuff. So there's something wrong with it being intimate watching a football game.
Yeah, but I don't think gay people do that. Gay people don't run around hugging each other and swapping shirts, do they? They get stuck in. Carl, would you sit on a bed, right, with Stephen in a hotel room, right, watching football? Okay, you're pouring each other wine and beer and shoved it.
Well, no, there wasn't that music playing. There was the roar of the crowd and John Motson doing commentary. It wasn't. It's not a sexy sound at all.
What do you think, Carl? Someone said, "Oh, come to my room, we're watching football." You got there and he went...
Well, who was on the bed first?
Not what happened.
Who was on the bed first?
Well, he probably got up to answer the door. So I don't know. I came in, I thought, well, there's only a bed here. We sat down, we thought, yeah.
No, but it wasn't. There was a chair there.
So. Well, yeah, but you know full well that if you're in a room with Ricky, he's the one who's going to leap straight on the bed and demand that you...
I'll just take the chair.
Well, why would you be concerned with lying on a bed next to me?
What's up with that?
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Why is it weird? I don't understand this.
Because...
I changed my tune.
It's a bit weird lying on a bed with a mate, just watching football.
Yeah, you don't do that when you go around a house, do you?
Yeah, but it's because you have a sofa and things. We didn't have that in the room.
Yeah, but when you visit someone in hospital, you don't say, "Move over." You don't pop yourself down next to him, you sit on the chair next to him.
No, because you're not there in a relaxed situation for 90 minutes enjoying a game of sport. It's just a more formal environment. Because you're quite a sport fan, aren't you, Carl?
Yeah, but not in... I don't like getting into things too much because it can only be disappointing.
True. I've never seen him get into anything, to be quite honest.
No, I am a football fan, but I've got it now to a point where if they lose, it only bothers me for about half an hour.
Yeah,
and then I move on because the thing is, I'm not in control of it. There's nothing I can do to alter that team. If I could go in and say, "Listen, you're lazy. You get your finger out. You move up front a bit," it's different. But it's totally. It's like getting annoyed with nature. There's nothing you can do. So let it happen, watch it if you want, but don't get annoyed about it, because it's totally out of your hands.
Interesting that Carl's team tactics also sounds like he could be directing a gay porn. You get your finger out, you get up front. You're lazy.
That's amazing. What do you think of these people, though? I love it that everyone's an expert. Everyone's a pundit. You see these fat people in pubs going, "Well, he's lost a few yards up front." Yeah, you fucking score a goal then, fatty.
Wearing a football top.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Exactly, yeah.
They shouldn't make them for them. Shouldn't make them in that size. It should be one size only. If you're fit enough to play football, you can wear one. If you're a fatty, you're not. because it looks ridiculous anyway.
But what's that? That's what he was talking about.
So you were a big fat slob with his belly out in an England shirt going, I could score from there. Go on then, let's have a go.
Hey, listen, calm down. Don't be slagging off the fans, because that's what it's all about. Football's all about the supporters, isn't it? You know, let's not forget these people paid millions to entertain us. If we want to drink till we're fat and eat pork pies and then put on an England shirt, we'll do it. That is the British way, that is the English way, that is what we won a war for.
What difference does it make if we win or lose? That's what I always look at, the end result.
How can you say you like football and then give us that argument? The only reason to watch football is the excitement of the challenge.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
No,
it is
and
entertainment.
a bit of skill. It's nice to see a bit of skill.
But and because it's entertaining.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, enjoy the game for what it is, and then forget about it. If Fat Bob in the pub, he's got his football top on, he gets all annoyed when England, lose.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? What difference does it make if they lose there or lose in the final?
Well,
what's the point?
Well, I'll tell you what difference it makes. I knew a Fat Bob, okay? That wasn't his name, but I'm changing the name to protect the innocent. And him. And he's not innocent, right?
Was it Fat Dave?
It was a big fat bloke, right? And he worked on one of the crews that used to bring in equipment where I used to work at the Students' Union, okay? And he was massive, right? And I think it was 1990 or 1992, the Euro, right, when England got knocked out, and he went mental, and he was so angry, he went out and he wanted retribution, okay? Luckily there were no German people around, but the closest he could find was a sausage van, some poor bloke who delivered sausages, and he turned it over. He got the van and he turned it over because it was selling sausages, so he thought that's German enough.
No, well, if he's fat, he's probably just annoyed that it wasn't open.